truly an exciting moment for me and us, the fans of the fantasy franchise, right? With the cast of Hrithik and Tamannaah.
Well, definitely, Lord of the Rings, the cinematic appeal that it has, is just one of a kind.
Yeah.
I still go back to it over and over again, and it still seems as fresh. I mean, it is visual storytelling at its best. So, be it the books or any of the screen adaptations that have been made, I feel like they're so engrossing and they just captivate you, take you into another world. And I feel like that quality is something I find most enchanting. Yeah, now that we've seen the teaser, the trailer, the preview, I really can't wait. I think it is stunning. As an audience, I'm just waiting, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Hrithik, what excites you the most?
Oh, I think the trailer speaks for itself.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that I aspire for. You know, it does something to my cells. It's visual extravaganza meeting great content. You know, it's just, and I'm just excited and thrilled that I'm going to be able to watch the Middle Ages on Prime Video on 2nd September. I also have a little tale to tell,
Okay.
if I may.
Please.
There's a little connection between me and the Lord of the Rings that I don't think anybody knows. And I recall this morning. So one random day back in 2004, my dad put on the Lord of the Rings Part 1, saw the film, couldn't stop, saw Part 2, couldn't stop, saw Part 3. And then he gave me a call, and he was just talking about the way they've used this one great, incredible idea, and then progressed and had this progression which was so incredible. And why can't we do that? So I said, okay, yeah, what are you talking about? And he said, why can't we take Koi Mil Gaya, which is one of our previous films, and have a progression and build on that? And that was the birth of Krish.
Wow.
So if there was no Lord of the Rings, there'd be no Krish. So I'm going to take this opportunity to give my little thanks to the Lord of the Rings for making Krish happen.
Awesome.
Welcome to India, Mr. Payne. Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited and delighted. Tell me, I was just, what was your experience of encountering Tolkien's work? And what does Tolkien mean to you?
So I came to Tolkien by way of the Peter Jackson films. I saw them first when I was in my early 20s. And they were one of the few films that came out when I was an adult that got into my heart the way that films used to when I was a kid. And from there I did the deep dive and read all the books and you know, got super into it. And now they've woven themselves into the fabric of my life. Very rare does a day go by that I don't reference something happening in my life by way of Lord of the Rings, saying I feel like Frodo carrying the ring today, or you know, when weddings or funerals come along, Tolkien quotes always make their way into my toasts or eulogies. So Tolkien is just part of my soul.
I can see the passion, and it shows in your work. And you have your incredible cast here with you.
Oh, they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for you
incredible.
to meet them.
I've always believed that, you know, casting is one of the most difficult aspects of filmmaking. How was this process for you? How difficult was it for you?
Well, so we knew we had to get this right. The story we're telling is an amazing story. It's Tolkien's untold story of the Second Age. So we're telling the story of the forging of the Rings of Power, the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron, the fall of Numenor, and finally the last alliance of elves and men. And so to be able to bring that really to life, we knew we needed a cast that was really special. And so we had really two criteria for our cast. And one, they had to be amazing performers, but two, they had to have Middle-earth in them. You had to look in their eyes and feel like they could have stepped out of a magical portal and been from Middle-earth transported to our world. And so we auditioned hundreds and hundreds of people for every single role and found 22 needles in 22 haystacks.
That's incredible.
Tolkien quotes always make their way into my toasts or eulogies, so Tolkien is just part of my soul.
I can see the passion, and
And I think that's it. Everyone, one more welcome for our entire Lord of the Rings cast.
Yeah, well, it's the second age, so he's much younger than the trilogy or anything like that. He's half elven, which is a sort of unique thing in the elven world.
In our show, but ultimately the story of the Rings of Power is the one that brings them all to a head. But that's what's so interesting about Tolkien. For such a major storyline, he gives Celebrimbor very little page space. He's mentioned briefly, and those contradict each other, those mentions. So what we